Well, hello there. I am back for my third edition of What the F Will the Steelers Do This Week? So, listen, we all know how I feel about this team, but it doesn't matter. I don't care if we win ugly. I don't care if we win by 1 point. I don't care if we blow somebody out, although I don't see us blowing out anybody. But I am here. I'm here to talk about my Steelers, and we're 2-0. We have our first home game. I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to see how we look at home, if we look any better, hell, if we get any more calls. I'm just super excited to see us play, and I've taken some time to research this Chargers team. As you all should know by now, I always take time to watch the team that we're going to play the week before we play them, and then obviously I go down a rabbit hole and try to look up information about the team and see what I think, see how I feel before I make these videos. And so on the other side of this, I'm going to talk about the three things that I will be looking forward to, or that I'll be looking for as the Steelers take on the Chargers this Sunday. So let's get into this craziness. For anybody that doesn't know, as of today, the Chargers have had 2 consecutive games where they've had DK Dobbins, where they've had J.K. Dobbins running for over 100 yards. And so obviously going into this game, that's something I'm going to be paying attention to, is how well do the Steelers play the run? Because what the Chargers seem to be doing is similar to what the Steelers are doing. So we're looking for a quarterback not to make any mistakes, not to kind of give the game away. And then at the same time, we're hoping that our run game can get going, that can open up play action, open up other things. So I'm going to be curious to see how the Steelers play the run. I'm curious to see if they're able to stop the run this week. I think that's going to be the tallest task for us, is to see how we stop the run. Because if we can stop the run and we can make the Chargers pass, I think we will benefit from that, mainly because the way the Chargers have been winning as of late is not necessarily on the back of their quarterback. It's kind of funny saying that, but it has been because they have been able to run the ball. So I'm very curious to see how the Steelers defense is able to stop the Chargers running the ball. Obviously, like most football games, if the Steelers struggle to stop the run, this could be a long game. So I'm very curious to see how the Steelers stop the run. That's going to be the first thing I'm going to be paying attention to. The second thing I'm going to be paying attention to, which kind of actually fits with the first thing, is I'm going to be paying attention to Patrick Queen. So I might be being a little nitpicky here, and I might be seeing things that other people aren't seeing, or I might be overreacting, or I might be spot on. But I feel like Patrick Queen is either taking bad angles, or he's a half a step slow, or maybe he's just overthinking. But I think Patrick Queen having a good game against the Chargers is going to be imperative, especially if we're going to be working to stop the run. I don't know if the Steelers are having him do things he's not used to doing. I don't know if this is still kind of a trial out period. I always say the first 4 weeks of the NFL, sometimes I feel like is like people trying to figure out what people can do, how they're actually going to look in the games, gives them some film to go watch, and then we can see how they're going to adjust and move forward. So I'm very curious to see how Patrick Queen looks in this game. Again, this is not a knock on Patrick Queen. It's just something that I feel like I'm seeing when I'm watching him, is he's either a little bit late, or he's taking the wrong angles, or he's not seeing something. There's something seems a little bit wonky when it comes to Patrick Queen. Again, this is his third game playing with the Steelers, so I'm not expecting him to just like come in and just be able to slot in and be a perfect fit and nothing ever goes wrong. But I'm just going to be paying attention to him this week, especially knowing the Chargers want to run the ball. That's what Harbaugh does. That's why I think he's a great coach. He is a balanced coach. He runs a balanced offense, and I respect the hell out of that. So I'm very curious to see how Patrick Queen plays this game against the Chargers run. The other thing I'm going to be paying attention to is the offensive play calling for the Steelers. I am wondering if they're ever going to open up the playbook. For the past 2 games, Justin Fields has played fine. Again, as the making of this video, I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. But as I've been watching the games, Justin Fields has taken care of the ball. Even when he's thrown the ball downfield, he's looked like he's making good decisions, and it looks like he has a good read on the offense. I am just wondering when the offensive playbook is going to open up. I feel like we're doing this thing once we get ahead, our play calling changes a little bit. And I don't know if it's because we don't trust Justin Fields. I don't know if it's because we're waiting on something. I don't really know what's going on. Or hell, maybe it's because that offensive line. Maybe it's because we don't know what we're going to get out of our offensive line, and we don't know if they can max protect. I'm not sure, but I'm very curious to see what the playbook looks like this game, because I do know that the Chargers have two guys on their defensive line that can create havoc if we let them. So Bosa and Mack will be playing, obviously, for the Chargers, and I'm not sure if our offensive line can hold. So maybe I'm asking for something that I don't know if we can deliver just yet, because our offensive line is kind of doing their thing. But I'm very curious to see what the play calling looks like for this game. I'm very curious to see if it's Justin Fields, or kind of what's going on, or make sense of it. Or who knows, like even if Wilson's out there, I'm very curious to see the play calling this game, because I feel like the play calling has been very limited. And I'm wondering when we're going to start to open up our offense, because I'm going to be honest, I could be wrong here, but I don't think we beat the Chargers by scoring less than 20 points. We haven't scored more than 20 points in the season yet. We haven't even gotten to 20. It's 18-13, but I really think we have to score points against this Chargers team. And so I'm going to be very interested to see what the offense looks like, especially if our defense is struggling to stop the run. So those are just a couple of things that I'm going to be focused on this weekend. Obviously, for my prediction, I think the Steelers should beat the Chargers. Chargers are traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast. We all know how I feel about that. So that's one thing. The other thing is I think that we're a better team than the Chargers. I think our defense is better than the Chargers. I think if you give our quarterback a toss-up, or you give Justin Herbert an edge when it comes to quarterback, I think our offensive lines, I think the Chargers have a better, more solidified offensive line, so we'll give him that. But I think our weapons on the outside, obviously running back, we'll call that a wash. So I think collectively we should beat the Chargers if we come out and do what we're supposed to do. If our defense steps up, I think we can beat anybody. And so I am looking for the Steelers to win this game. I think the Steelers should win this game. I think if they do all the things they're supposed to do, they should win this game. My biggest concern, I didn't mention this because I just mentioned the things I'll be paying attention to as far as play calling goes, if we're able to stop the run. And Patrick Queen, I'm very curious to see how that works. But the other matchup that I'm looking forward to is our offensive line against their defensive line. So I'm curious to see how that works. If we win that battle, we should win this game. Sounds so simple, right? Just stop the run, win the battle in the trenches, do this. It sounds so simple. Like, how can we lose this? It's so simple. But seriously, I think the Steelers should win this game. I'm picking the Steelers to win this game. I have no idea what the lines are of this game, but I think we should take care of business. It's our first home game. We're going to have the crowd behind us. That travel is going to be a long trip from LA to Pittsburgh. I wish I was in Pittsburgh for this game, but I'm not. But I think it should be a good game. I'm picking Pittsburgh to win this game. I hope we take care of business. I hope we do what we're supposed to do, because 3-0 sounds a hell of a lot better than 2-1. So I'm picking the Steelers to win this game. And I'm curious to see if our offensive line continues to improve and who starts there, and to see what's going on. So anyways, I will stop rambling. Hopefully Steelers win this game. Hopefully we score more than 20 points. Please score more than 20 points. Oh, and God help us. Can TJ Watt get at least 2 holding calls this game? Can we actually get calls from the refs about them holding our defensive line the whole game? That would be absolutely freaking fantastic if we can get that. But let me end this video here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share all the things. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you for being here. As always, here we go.